Girl Therapy. I'm your host. I'm Kate. I'm an online fitness and nutrition coach, and I have been helping so many women over the last 3 years fall in love with their bodies again by building a healthy lifestyle that they can take with them no matter what life ends up throwing at them. I am here to talk to you a little bit about why you don't need motivation in order to get results. One little elephant in the room here, I have yet another new location for this podcast because I don't know if you've heard about it, but there was a security breach apparently in Verizon, and it isn't national news somehow, but some crazy security breach. We actually got a text, not even a text, but my dad tried to log into our Verizon account, and the number that they needed to send the confirmation to log in text to was a number that neither of us have, and it's just us two on the phone bill, and we were just like, hello. So he ended up calling. They said they have no clue whose number that is, how it got on there, whatever. And then literally this whole week, our internet has been terrible. I was actually on the phone this morning with my business coach, getting on Zoom, and I couldn't even load my calendar. And my office in our house, for whatever reason, that specific room and that specific room only has issues connecting to the internet. I had this whole thing where I literally canceled Comcast. I flipped out, changed to Verizon, and it didn't change. That room is still really tough. Now, we have Fios now, which is great. I don't know. I think we pay maybe a little bit more, but we have Fios now, which is obviously faster. Turns out it wasn't just the office. It was also the computer that I was using. It was old, and I needed a new computer, $1,400 later on that one, and, changing internet services. Anyway, all that to be said, office, not only not internet, not doing so hot, but you can't see the floor because of all the wedding stuff that's on it. So here we are on my couch, which fine, right? I usually do my podcast on my couch in my office. There's just a different color aesthetic. Not sure, whatever. It's really bright in here though. My living room is really bright. You don't care about any of this, and this is just what I do. Also, some other weird elephants in the room. We have a lot of flies in Richmond apparently, and that's something that we're getting used to, but in this house specifically, so many flies all the time. Anyway, let's get into it. Why don't you need motivation in order to get results? Because it's bullshit. I am just going to be point blank and honest. Motivation is bullshit, and it's not going to get you the results that you need. Why? Because when you rely on motivation, you are relying on an all or nothing mindset, okay? You're saying I am so motivated to do this shit that I'm going to go balls to the wall and I'm going to get everything done. You're meal prepping, you're tracking everything, you're working out like crazy, you're doing all the cardio, you're doing the morning routine, the evening routine, and this and that and all the things, and you are balls to the wall. And you can sustain that for whatever 30-day challenge that you're doing, maybe 7 days, whatever it is. But at some point, you're going to hit a wall, and it's going to be real freaking hard. You are not going to be able to sustain all the things that you're doing with that all or nothing mentality, doing it solely based off of motivation. Motivation is definitely a key step into getting you started. You have to have a reason or some sort of drive to do something different and change your behavior. But friends, you can't just rely on that and be oh, I'm only going to work out when I'm motivated, because let's be real, especially if you're following a really good workout program, or even if you're going to group fitness classes, you probably go to group fitness classes because there's a cancellation fee, so you're forced to go, right? That's not motivation. That is some sort of discipline, and maybe motivation because you don't want to spend $30 for no reason, but that's not motivation to work out, right? If you're following a really good workout program, it gets boring. It gets really boring and it's not fun. Let me tell you, motivation did not exist for Coach Kate for years. I did not enjoy going to the gym to put my body through hell when I was powerlifting, okay? I just enjoyed the outcome of it. But the problem is, at least for me, small backstory, for me, the problem was at some point, I didn't have the motivation and I didn't like the outcome. from what I was doing, right? So that's when I needed to actually change and like have different behaviors. When you look at motivation, it's a great like starting point. But if you're so motivated and you go balls to the wall, all or nothing mentality, you can't sustain that. So then you get to a point where you're just like, I wonder why I'm not seeing results. And the reason you're not seeing results is because you did it for like a few days or whatever. And then you just like went back to what you were originally doing because you didn't build a foundation. You can't get results and then stop doing those things and then keep the results. Like that's just not how it works, right? Like that's one of the biggest qualms that I have with all the diets in the world, Weight Watchers, Wegovy, whatever they are, like all those things. If you don't sustain them, it's not going to work. Okay, so that is why motivation is not going to get you the results. The what is going to get you the results, however, is actually building foundational habits that support your current lifestyle in such a way that doesn't feel incredibly overwhelming, doesn't have extremes. Like, I'm the anti-extremes coach. I don't think extremes have a place in the fitness and nutrition world because for most people, because it doesn't teach us anything. It teaches us that we either have to be perfect or not do it at all. Okay. And I literally mean that. I'm even talking about keto. I'm not just saying that like you can't be successful on keto long term if you don't follow it long term. Okay. If you are like, I'm keto Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, I have all the carbs. No, that is not the point of it. And that is a whole other topic that I've talked about to death on these podcasts. But that's an extreme, right? Like you are like, I can't have any carbs Monday through Friday. There is no difference between that and restricting your calories but having carbs Monday through Friday and then just doing whatever you want on the weekend. There's literally no difference except for the fact that you're saying a sexy diet or whatever and you're being sold to that you can do keto and what. No, stop it. Stop all the madness. Okay? You need to do things that will support your current lifestyle and that will allow you to build healthy habits that will resonate and keep with you for years to come, regardless of the things that life throws at you. And you know how I know that? I know that because I live it. Okay. I went through a whole transition for like, I don't know, I feel like I've been going through a transition for the last 2 years, but I lost sight of what healthy meant. Okay. And I needed to reframe my mindset and change what I was doing. Well, now, don't work out very often. Honestly, I'm being so serious. Mostly because I'm in physical therapy twice a week. So with like, if anyone knows what physical therapy should be, it should be a workout. Okay, it's a lot of work. I leave there gassed. I'm sweating, whatever. But secondary is obviously in physical therapy. That means I have some sort of injury and my neck really hurts. And sometimes the way that my schedule is laid out, like if I'm in a lot of pain on the days that I have set up to work out, well, it's not going to happen. Right. So I'm also still trying to figure out like who I am inside of this new schedule that I have going on at work, inside of my business. And I don't really know what's happening with powerlifting, but I needed to change what I was doing because I wasn't motivated and I wasn't liking the outcomes and I was just like drifting. And I was like, yeah, go for walks, you guys. I didn't go for walks. I would be motivated every so often. I get my ass out of bed and I go for a walk and then I'd be like, bro, I hate this. I do not like to go for walks. I don't know what it is. So I'd rather just be busy all day and get it all done then. And that is what my lifestyle supports me with, right? Like I am a Division I strength and conditioning coach. I have 3 teams. I coach all day long. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I literally have 5 hours of on-floor coaching time. And so like I am running around like a mad woman all the time. Okay. So my lifestyle supports a lot of activity. I don't really need to go on walks unless it's like the summer or the winter when we're like, I don't have all that on-floor coaching time, right? When it comes to motivation, like, yeah, I was going through these spurts where I was like, yes, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift heavy. And then but more often than not, I'd be like, take me now. I don't want to go. just let's cut it. Truly, if you are on the hamster wheel of being really incredibly motivated and doing a whole bunch of shit, all or nothing mentality, and then as soon as you have one hiccup where you didn't track, you didn't restrict, whatever, you're like, oh no, the world is ending. I am no longer motivated. I don't want to do this anymore. Or even you did it for 30 days and after 30 days, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to take my foot off the gas. The next thing you know, you're right back where you started because you didn't build anything into your lifestyle. You just kind of quit your lifestyle to put yourself into this bucket of fitness that didn't work for you. Okay. That is why motivation is a bubble that bursts and doesn't work long term. You have to build foundational healthy habits, and these healthy habits need to support your lifestyle. And if you don't know how to do that, I got you. Some of those healthy habits that I think are incredibly important are in my free habit guide, but things like tracking your food, daily movement goals, and drinking your water, like if you can get yourself to do these types of things consistently, finding the time to get workouts in is going to be the easy part, because when you start doing those three things that are typically really tough to overcome on a daily basis, super consistently, you're going to be like, I need to work out because I need to like add this movement because my body is feeling so good. It's going to be so much easier. But you have to find those couple of things that are going to support you, right? Like if you're someone that needs to put the cart before the horse or vice versa or whatever it is, and you're like, no, the only way I'm going to convince myself to track my food and drink my water is because I need to start going to the gym, then that's where you need to start, right? Like, but the things that you don't need to find time for, because I know that you're busy, the things that you don't need to find time for and the things that you can continue to do no matter what is getting daily movement in, drinking your water, and tracking your food. You don't need to find much time in order to do those things. Those things can fit into your current lifestyle. And if you don't know how, shoot me a message and let's talk about it. I hope you got something out of today. And if nothing else, just a reminder that your motivation is not going to get you where you want to go. You have to change, and you have to do that on a consistent basis for the rest of your life, not just for those 30 days. It's been great catching up with you. I'll chat with you next time.